Greetings, dear listener. I hope you're settled in and all cozy and comfortable and ready to immerse yourself in a story filled with wonder and heart. Today, we will explore the tale of the Little Mermaid, a timeless but moving classic story that teaches us about the sacrifice we make for love, the beauty of selflessness, and the strength it takes to follow our dreams, even in the face of uncertainty. It's a journey of longing, courage, and transformation. So, let's take a deep breath, unwind, and dive in. The Little Mermaid by Hans Christian Andersen, adapted as a story to relax to, and read by John Donaldson. Far beneath the ocean's surface, in the vast underwater kingdom of the sea, lived a young mermaid princess, the youngest daughter of the Sea King. She was a remarkable creature, with hair like shimmering gold and eyes as deep and blue as the ocean itself. Unlike her 5 older sisters, who delighted in the magnificence of their royal underwater life, the youngest princess was often captivated by tales of the human world above. The mermaids lived in a magnificent palace, made of coral and shells that gleamed in the sunlight filtering through the water. Each princess had their own garden, but the youngest filled hers with sculptures of human figures she collected from shipwrecks. She often sat there dreaming about the world above, a place she had never seen, but longed to visit. The Sea King had made a rule. None of his daughters could rise to the surface until they turned 15. As each sister reached that age, they ascended to the world above and returned with stories of glittering stars, moonlit waves, and the mysterious lives of humans. Their tales only deepened the youngest mermaid's curiosity and longing. When her 15th birthday finally arrived, her grandmother adorned her with pearls and told her to enjoy her first visit to the surface. With excitement bubbling in her chest, the little mermaid swam upwards, breaking through the waves into the cool night air. The first thing she saw was a grand ship illuminated with lanterns. Music drifted across the water as sailors celebrated aboard. Among them, the little mermaid noticed a young prince. He was handsome, with dark hair and a warm smile, and she couldn't take her eyes off him. As she watched, a storm began to brew, the waves growing fierce. Lightning flashed across the sky, and the ship was tossed about until it broke apart. The prince was thrown into the water, struggling to stay afloat. The little mermaid swam to him, holding his unconscious body above the waves and guiding him to shore. At dawn, she laid him gently on the sand near a temple and hid behind a rock. She watched as a group of humans approached. Among them was a young girl who helped the prince regain consciousness. The little mermaid felt a pang in her chest as the prince smiled at the girl, unaware of who had saved him. The little mermaid returned to the sea, but she couldn't forget the prince. Her longing for him grew with each passing day, and she became restless in her underwater world. She asked her grandmother about humans, learning that they had much shorter lives than merfolk, but possessed immortal souls, unlike her kind. The little mermaid wondered if she could ever gain such a soul and be with the prince forever. Unable to bear her longing, she decided to visit the Sea Witch, a powerful and dangerous sorceress who lived in the darkest depths of the ocean. The Sea Witch, aware of her desires, offered her a deal. she would give the little mermaid a potion that would turn her tail into legs, allowing her to live among humans. However, there was a price. She would lose her voice. The witch warned her that every step she took on her new legs would feel like walking on sharp knives. If the prince did not fall in love with her and marry her, she would die and dissolve into sea foam. Desperate, the little mermaid accepted the deal, drinking the potion and enduring excruciating pain as her tail transformed into legs. The next morning, she awoke on the shore near the prince's palace. He found her there, and, enchanted by her beauty, took her in, though he did not recognize her as the one who had saved him. The little mermaid tried to communicate with gestures, as her voice was gone. Despite her silence, the prince grew fond of her, treating her like a dear companion. She followed him everywhere, her love for him growing with every moment. The pain in her feet was constant, but she endured it, hoping he would fall in love with her. Yet her heart sank when he confided in her that he loved the girl who had found him on the shore, believing she was his savior. When the prince announced his marriage to this girl, the little mermaid's heart broke. The wedding was to take place aboard a grand ship. As the celebrations began, she stood silently, her sadness hidden behind a serene expression. That night, as the ship sailed on calm waters, her sisters appeared, their long hair shorn off. They had given it to the sea witch in exchange for a knife. They explained that if the little mermaid killed the prince with the knife and let his blood fall on her feet, she would regain her tail and could return to the sea. But as she stood over the sleeping prince, she found herself unable to harm him. Her love for him was too pure and selfless. As dawn broke, the little mermaid kissed the prince's forehead and threw the knife into the sea, and then leapt into the water, her body dissolving into foam. Yet, instead of vanishing completely, she found herself rising into the sky. She had become one of the daughters of the air, spirits who earned immortal souls through good deeds. Their leader told her that because of her selflessness and pure heart, she was given this new existence. Though she would not be with the prince, she could one day earn a soul and reach the eternal happiness she had longed for. From that day on, the little mermaid floated with the breeze, bringing comfort and inspiration to the world. Though her love remained unfulfilled, her sacrifice and spirit had transformed her into something greater. The end.